Well, if you're looking behind me, the budget went up on this one. Welcome back to the One Tribe podcast with Coach Naka. Naka, that's me. We're up in the Fine Fit People studios up here today, over in Dubai. No, where are we? Town Square. So the first time I've been out here, so forgive me. But yeah, my budget hasn't gone up. I'm using someone else's studio today, but we're going to get two of my good friends from the industry on this podcast today to talk about all things that the industry doesn't want us to talk about, basically. So stay tuned and we'll come back with an introduction of my two guests. And we're back, guys. So thank you to Fine Fit People and their studios. As you can see behind me, a lovely little setting that we've got. It's much better than the shitty one that I usually operate out of. But yeah, let's.
You paid for it, bro.
Got to start somewhere.
Let's introduce my two guests today, Mr. Gilbert Garcia, Mr. Grant Goes. These two gentlemen have been around the industry as long as I have, and basically, you know, there are backbone people of this industry who are still here, and these two boys are definitely ones I would consider exactly that. So
fucking call us old as soon as you jump on, bro.
But boys, Gilbert, give me a bit of a brief about yourself, bro. How long have you been here? What's the story in the fitness industry for yourself?
Well, nothing any different from any fitness professional. Been here since 2006, and then just, you know, cruising at the beginning and then trying to figure out what I want to do. I guess it goes for everybody that comes from different places, part of the world, trying to make it. Yep. Still enjoy it, truly love it, genuinely. Like what you said, we've been here a while, so we've probably seen anything and everything, and trying to make the world a better place.
Rather nice. And Mr. Goes, what's your story, brother? Tell me a bit of the background of the fitness industry for yourself. I mean, people already know you. A lot of my followers know you. So, yeah, just give us a brief rundown, brother.
Brief. Yeah, it's just simple as came from New Zealand, love sports, love all the things, good fitness, got into the fitness industry 18, 17, wasn't too sure where to go, and then kind of led me into a whole lot of different background or development as far as a career, like PT, group fitness, helping the sports professionals for sports teams. Les Mills was also my big thing, which doing DVDs and coaching and master training and shit like that. Then coming over to Dubai to carry on doing that thing, which is what brought me here, kind of thing. And it's been, I suppose, really fortunate to start on one market, one place in the world, go see all these different markets around the world, and then coming through the UAE where it's such a young market.
Yep.
You know, and it's kind of got me into just developing. If anything, it's worked both ways. I've been pushed to learn like stuff like this.
Yeah. Man, like we were just sitting here, and like obviously, like you know, I've been telling you boys that I do my own podcast, but the setup is literally 2 microphones and, you know, my Mac, and I've walked in here and this is class. Like boys, I'm blown away, honestly. And I've said, you know, we spoke about it that, you know, I think more of this needs to happen. You know, in terms of they call it a fitness community. Is it a community? You know, I'm yet to see it like that at the moment. So, but let's go back to you.
Yeah.
Your claim to fame in the industry that got you out there was winning a fitness challenge, right? Because I just looked back in and I saw it when I walked in. This fucking guy, he entered a fitness competition, the DFC.
Casual, bro, casual lads.
Listen, used to be bright. This
competition is now the competition in Dubai.
Bro, it's second biggest in the world, pretty much.
Second biggest in the world. The prize money I saw last year was insane. the
This year was
competitors that are
$50,000.
coming are these CrossFit dudes, like internationals. This fella won the first one. How much money did you win?
The first prize was 100,000 dirhams plus a couple of bits. Here and there.
There you go.
100,000 dirhams just on that.
100 G's to be fit. Yeah, like, why not, man? That's good. But
you were the very first one, right? That was the very first.
I think it was the very first one. Yeah.
I was the first one thrown through the door, bro. It was a really interesting time because it was a whole. Everyone's talking about CrossFit at the time, and there was some other little fitness competitions that happened and stuff. But this was the first major one, big prize money put behind it, which pulled in all these different athletes from different aspects, whether it be group fitness, circuit training, CrossFit, sports condition guys. They were like, there's an opportunity for you to go and compete for good money, you know.
Okay, this is a beautiful segue into what. For those who follow this podcast, the One Tribe podcast, you know that I try to keep away from the fitness talk and talk about more of the what's going on behind the scenes, what's happened behind the scenes, and what makes us who we are in terms of why we are in this industry. So, good point. When from what I know, when Grant entered this competition, like he just said,
I feel like he's setting me up.
No, definitely not. Just the CrossFit market was starting to build back then, right? So people, knew about CrossFit, and it was this, exactly what it says. It was a fitness between, a mix between, your traditional lifting in the gym and then, running around the block sort of thing. That's what it was, right? So it was like,
boot camps were quite popular at the time.
Cross training, let's say cross training.
It was a mixed breed,
in the height of when was that?
2012. 2012.
Hey, was it 2012? Fuck, was it? Anyway, okay, 2012. Okay, that's even better. So our market evolved from, you got here in 2006.
I got in here in 2006 doing my own thing. I was working for a commercial health club, and then, the big commercial health club came in the scene, and I decided, probably, go into a different avenue, and then got encouraged to join a company called MeFit Professional, Middle East Fitness Professionals, wherein we do we develop a division that's for personal training. So we've kind of helped the education grow in the market. Right. Back then, it was just MeFit and what's the other one? South African company.
Not around anymore.
Yeah. Not around anymore. Yeah.
Which was a good topic.
But right, going back to. There was only, with this whole CrossFit thing coming up, I remember even myself, trying to build a company that was driven on, the martial arts background with the boxing, and then, throwing in your conditioning, what we called it. The CrossFit thing was very sort of similar. So everyone thought, okay, I'll bench press over here, and then I'll go for a sprint around the block. And this is how it sort of was adapting into this CrossFit thing. So when you entered this competition, I remember around the 2011 and 2012 mark, there were a few people now calling themselves CrossFitters, right? Yep. And I don't think you were.
No, not at all.
You never were. I know I'm not going to mention the people who were calling themselves CrossFitters, but at the same time, when this competition evolved, these certain people, key industry heads at the time, didn't want to back that claim to being the fittest in the region.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking? Like, I felt that you came out as like this, not even an underdog, because you went and tested yourself, right? Because you wanted to, and won the fucking thing. So, like, the guys that I expected to see there weren't there.
Yeah.
Because it was almost, no, we're coaches now.
They took a step back and jumped that way and didn't want to expose themselves, I think was the more issue.
And in 2020, we still see that culture alive.
Oh, massively,
right?
bro.
So that's what I wanted to talk about to our followers who follow us as coaches or whatnot. I do feel in an industry that a lot of us preach. There's not a lot of backing up on that preaching.
What do you think? What do you think? Yeah. What do you think? A lot of people do that
because they can get away with it here. You know what I mean? And nobody else wants to call anybody else out on it.
No one's policing them.
I think also this country here has been taken on a place where you look at social media as becoming the big hype. The companies that are looking to sponsor, support athletes are looking for numbers, and so people go down this line of this highlight reel on social media makes them look amazing, and these people that are like the fittest, the fastest, the strongest, the leanest, or whatever they want to call themselves and be. But then when it comes time to perform, because as a coach you spend so much time just trying to coach others, and you can't actually put in the practice time, then you get caught out when you actually go to places.
I'm fine with that though. I'm fine with a coach being a coach.
Yeah.
Like, I think everyone's had their heyday once upon a time, wherever it is in your life, and you were at your highest in terms of like output, performance. That's fine. So then we all acquire knowledge and we pass it on. But then there's a lot of people in this industry who claim, and I can't stand it because I see it, and I'm not trying to call them out, but Men's Health Middle East, was it them and Shape Middle East, the two magazines?
Them Cosmopolitan was another one.
Yeah. They would give Fitness Trainer of the Year to people in this region.
Oh, now What's On does it, or freaking Time Out.
It's all based on votes. Now, if you have a massive following, you can pick that thing up within 3 weeks, and you name that.
So that becomes the basis of their credential.
Exactly. And you see that going around still, you know what I mean? Which I'm not, because as a consumer looking for a trainer, you guys know how hard it is. Imagine getting on Instagram or Facebook and going, I need a personal trainer. How the fuck do you find a personal trainer in a market like this?
You mean in a bullshit market?
In a bullshit market.
Totally. It's hard. Like it's really, really hard. It's because there's so much. Like there's two good sides of it. I see two sides of it when I look at it. The one is the opportunity it creates for people to grow in spaces quickly. Like you compare this to the UK, America, New Zealand, Australia. Yeah. It's so much harder because the quality is there, and people they go off word of mouth quality. Like if you're freaking good what you do, you go. These physios stand out. These trainers stand out. Exactly. They're training the celebrities. They're training the top sports stars, and that's what they're doing. Over here, there's not the case. I mean, it's literally about a status. It's very much status based. If you got that status is based on, there is the minute minority that have got a status based on the quality of their service, but the majority have come from a popularity contest. They stand out, and that's where the difficulty is here to find a good service. Never mind just a trainer. I mean, talking about other services as well, because it's so easy for them to come in. It's a developing nation. You got to remember, the organisations aren't in place, the platforms aren't in place, the structures aren't in place to regulate properly yet. This industry, that's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Or the attention of the market has really changed. Like what you're saying earlier, back in the days, the leverage was they have results. So popular personal trainers back in the early 80s and 90s, they were commercialized in Vogue magazine, but we don't know who they are. But they are represented by the showbiz personality that showcase that. So I think in my opinion that the market is geared to that. We're pre-programmed that that's what fitness looks like. So here we go, short term, somebody that probably put a little bit of substance in their body, they became aesthetically amazing. I mean, there are really good trainers that are highly academic, and they do the results and they deliver what people are looking for. But I think what you're trying to say is because social media now is so predominantly the basis of where you find market. Yeah. So is that what probably is making the industry a little bit more corrosive, because people don't know, they don't educate, they don't empower themselves. Now, he looks good, he's got six pack.
Well, that's what like you were just saying. I think a market with social media so big, with the drive so big, you literally get members walking into the gym going, "Oh, I want to look like this."
Literally daily basis.
No, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? But right, so coming off that, my next question: what is going on in the industry in terms of how you see it and how you see it? What's going on in the industry? And I'm talking specifically the Dubai market. What is there
from whose perspective?
Yours.
From professionals.
From your perspective, you're going to have two different perspectives. Do you think it's a healthy go forward, or do you think we're in this lull, or where do you think we sit? I'll start with you, Grant. Where do you think we sit?
So you got to look in two different ways. To be honest, there's healthy in the fact that this country's just going through for me, it's an evolution of change. Like it's like people go like, oh, it's 5 years behind, 10 years behind other countries that are established organizations, right? So like one of the things here that was very different is that in a short, probably 8 to 10 years, how many more events do you see here, like the golf, the F1, the squash, badminton? They all have their World Series events here, right? Yeah. And that's what's popularized activity sport in it, because with all more expats in here after the 2008 crash, it's started to evolve quite quickly. And what with the evolution of that coming in is that there's the like we talked about, quickly said before, the ground stuff behind it. But like if you want to be a doctor here, for example, you have to go through this organization to get your qualifications attested and make sure, and then you have to go work for these registered organizations.
Or do you?
Well,
or do you?
There's some
horror stories too, brother. The local mechanic's a doctor down, like.
Well, there's the thing too. But then that also, there's a reflection too of what happened with the fitness industry, is that because it wasn't established first, people just came in and they got visas with anybody. They started training anywhere, boot camps were started by most people doing air flight attendants. Yeah, these guys started doing them, right? That's how they started off, right? 100%. So no one was actually fitness qualified, sports qualified, university qualified.
You just secretly called someone out that we actually know. I don't know if he's going to be watching this.
I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. I'm saying
it's call you out, bro. I promise.
No. It's like saying that's saying where the industry really started as far as fitness and trainers, right? Or a trainer was like, I know a lot of people got pulled in to be their trainers when they were this because they looked a certain way. Yeah, and that's just I'm just saying that's how it started, right?
And that's how it seems to be finishing too in 2020.
It's going back that way.
100%.
Yeah.
Like if you've got like a awesome rig and then like someone will walk up and go, you go to the gym, obviously, and I can train you. Yeah, it's easy money for them.
It's the mentality over here, because look at the mentality of the region is it does have the best of so many different. Like you look at outside this industry, it is best, the fastest. But that's it's the mentality of the people, the residents that are here they have created this amazing country with so much opportunity. Yeah. But then that's the mentality is when people go somewhere, they want the best. They want high class. They want and it's aesthetically. Because everything here looks so aesthetically great, the same mindset when you come into fitness, and they go like, their booty, their muscle.
But, and G, you can jump in here. Are they getting that? That's the problem. That's where we sit now in 2020.
Yeah, but who's creating that? My question now is to your question, but who's creating that?
We are.
People, exactly. So we are the one criticizing each other. And then going back to your introduction, why do you think we're still around after a decade or so?
Listen, man, I put up a post 2 days ago. Anyone following my Instagram, my personal Instagram?
What are we doing as, you can call us seniors. We can call them out. We can use this platform to do that.
You know what? I've got nothing against the hustlers making money where they see money to be made.
Yeah, it's a socioeconomic status.
Do you blame these cabs? Because you hear it all the time. You'll have a new member join and say, I had a really bad experience with the trainer, blah blah blah. You go, okay, cool. You don't knock the trainer. Everyone does things differently, right? But as a future member or customer of a gym, are you doing your research? And 90% of you are not, because you still come up with the same generic bullshit answer when someone like myself or these two ask, okay, what are your goals in the next 3 to 6 months? And you're always going to hear the same shit. I want to be fit and I want to be toned. I feel like slapping people.
But we talk about the industry. When you talk about where the industry is at, like the next thing, like, okay, it was started off and founded in a certain way. There's a mindset that's been put in place. I don't believe the industry is in a bad place. I think it's just going in the direction that most countries would develop and go through to get to where they got to where they are now.
It's definitely evolving. You obviously see out there, especially in this region, that we are overabundant of everything.
Absolutely.
Restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, everything. In fitness, it's rapidly growing. In my opinion, it's recalibrating itself. Like look at the Dubai Master. How many people like us are starting to talk about mental health now in the industry we practice? 10, 15 years ago, all we focus on, we get clients, we throw them in the wall like eggshells, right? We don't think about how much did you sleep, how was work, how's your family. That's when you start realizing again, yes, that is the purpose, that is the intention of personal training. you have conviction. That's why we're doing these.
Yeah.
You know, our objective is obviously to propagate this to the new generation. Like what I've said before, it's recalibrating. Look at the Dubai Muscle Show. You can see the direct conundrum of that facility.
Yeah, but that's what you just said.
Half of that studio was geared up to supplementations and bodybuilding, getting big, putting your skinky bikini and look good in the stage. On the other side of it, the other half of it is like about health, wellness, education, and all that.
Products development.
So imagine you've got a hybrid of that personality, of that professional in one persona.
But what you were saying before, you talk about like, mental health hasn't here. Because now people went from the very generic fitness to go now specific or specifications is what they're looking for now, which is why the industry will calibrate itself because there's more quality in those different areas.
I think like you both just touched on, it's doing a revolution. Yeah. Right? We're at the top of it where it's so, at the moment, toxic, it's so polluted, and it is so...
It's judgmental. The industry is freaking judgmental.
And it's just going to shake the tree. The tree's going to shake and all of the shit's going to fall
off. Totally.
Right? And then that's when the good ones... And that's what happens with everything, right? So
and that's where you talk about how people have been around still, just doing their thing. Like they stand out because they just do their thing, they stick to their thing, and they
look,
fucking
like the three of us, you know, we spoke before the cameras came on, is that we've all gone on our paths, our journeys through this industry, through these careers that we've got till now. And sure, if you've heard my last podcast. That was my first podcast that I did with One Tribe. I opened it with how I got lost in the industry when I was a little bit younger. And I fully got lost, came off the wrong path and lost my mind basically, in a nutshell. But then you come back and you're a little bit older and you can see things a lot clearer. And it's not I'm not judgmental on these young females and males doing this. I'm not. I would love to educate them and say you don't need to go down the path you're going to because I've been there.
Can I ask a question then? Because like here's the thing: we've got this mentality where there was a way to do things, and with everything evolves, everything changes. So like, I kind of question. I have to question myself: like, am I doing the right thing? Or there's Instagram, for example, who's got lots of followers, has now got lots of good work, making lots of money. We're sticking to our thing. We do well as well, but they're doing twice as good, twice as fast. Who needs to learn off who?
Listen, 100%. I get your point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the three of us can probably vouch for this. Is that when you do fall off the wagon mentally, right?
Yeah.
You don't think about any of that shit. Right?
Happens to everybody. Fucking last thing.
And I do know some of those people that you're talking about. And they're doing well, and they got following, and everything they touch seems to be turning to gold. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? But at the same time, I do see these people when none of this light and the cameras around. Mate, they're mentally gone. They're tired mentally.
Yeah.
I'm like, how long is that person going to last? And slowly but surely, you do see them fade out of the industry, and they end up hating this industry. Because either they didn't get it into. Okay, here's the next. Either they didn't get into it for the right reasons, or that everything happened too fast for them. Now, the right reasons, I think all three of us got in. The reason I got into it, and this again cliche, as much as it sounds, was to help people. Right? Getting into this, I didn't think there was the money you could make now. Like I didn't. Mate,
but I just thought, man, this is so cool.
I used to cruise up and down to Mirror Road on a bus to get to my next session. The RTA bus.
It's original.
You touching that point. I'm glad you said, but not everybody wants to admit that. Does everybody know? Does your client know? Does the consumer understand that? Yeah, they can just probably have a snap to a fancy car next to them and post it on Instagram. They think that they're living the life. You exposing yourself, being vulnerable, admitting that at some point in your life I hit depression. I was fighting for it. But people expect us to not be, not be vulnerable.
We spoke about this before we went live. We went on air. Was that I think now looking at these careers that we've got and where we're at with them is that a lot of people depend on you as a trainer and as someone who calls the shots. Right?
But who do you depend on?
Exactly. So when we leave the gym or, you know, the area of fitness, we go home and just like everybody else, there's problems, there's issues, rent needs to be paid, can't pay rent, whatever it is. You know, it's hard because you suck so much energy off that gym floor every day through your clients.
And you give a lot.
Absolutely. And nobody sometimes is there. All three of us can talk about this here is that, you know, in the last...
talk about that, bro, 'cause that's freaking now.
Yeah,
That's
in the last 13 years, like I've been in and out of like relationships. They've all broken down due to this job and this career.
I can tell you all my relationships broken down because they got home. I was so fucked that they're going like,
you got nothing
where's the
to give.
attention? Where's the love? And it's like,
You've got nothing
when
to
you
give.
when you see it from their side, you
Understand.
go, yeah, at the time you might know, I'm out there doing 10, 12-hour days to pay the rent. And
pay your address.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, not that they were, you know, if any of them are watching, they're probably not. They're not. But yeah, like, you know, it gets like that. You get very defensive because you're out there listening to these people's problems and this, that, the other, and you're doing the hard yards. Because at the end of the day, and like, we don't get paid on time. We don't get paid a salary that is consistent.
Don't make these
know?
millions that people think.
No.
It's fucking. I sometimes wonder. I get home and go, "Why am I fucking still doing this?" I could go and sit in an office that I'd hate every day for X amount, but I'd hate it. And I genuinely, like you said, you just said it. You still love what you do. You know what I mean? And
I genuinely do.
very
Yeah.
hard
Waking
to
up at
say.
5 a.m. every morning,
Yeah.
going to sleep
I'm
at 12
not
o'clock.
saying
each night.
I'm not saying it's easy because at this point I think I'm a lot older than you two dickheads, but it's a struggle. It's still a struggle. But the point there is I still have that conviction. You know,
Mate, listen, he's got this guy's got a daughter. You know, I've met a lot since she's been little. Now she's growing.
She stands. That's one of
you
the.
know, like to be a father, to support your family on a PT salary, where a salary doesn't mean it's good or bad. It means it doesn't mean it's consistent. You know what I mean? Unless you're at all. So we can't plan a holiday in December because we don't know if the money's going to be around in December.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
If you get to December, you're sweet. Like, you're doing well. You know what I mean?
True.
So it is I don't think people see. I think people see especially now social media around. People see the photos, the videos, and stuff like this, and they're going, "Oh, they must be killing it because they got free time during the day to do shit like this." Well, not. We're doing this because we want to get the message out there that, you know, we have all the same issues that you guys have on the outside, and we work our asses off to help you guys. And sometimes we don't help ourselves doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, I wouldn't say sometimes, I say most of the time. So we don't have to.
Right, so going into the next segue, what have been the biggest challenges in the last 10 to 12 years that you guys have been doing this out here that you faced? And
I think that's pretty generic, Nigel. Doesn't matter.
In terms of building your profile, let's say building your profile.
Competition.
Yeah,
competition is a struggle. At the back of my head, I know that I'm not always going to be my tip-top performance. Because for me anyway, what drives me to still give energy, like what you said, it takes a lot from you. It truly does. And I'm a byproduct of broken relationships because I could not offer. Exactly. I could not offer. You guys were all human beings. A lot of people think that, oh, you're in good shape, you're a personal trainer, you play sports, you're bulletproof. No, I'm fucking not. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm a human being too. I get exhausted at the end of the day.
Not only that, or they think you are a PT, you're in the industry, you should look like this.
Exactly. So that's the pressure that I've been carrying on, spot on. And answering your question, the challenge there is that people underestimate what you do. Yeah, they still ask for a bargain. They don't see. Don't get me wrong. I've got long-term clients that I truly am grateful for, that really see the value in that. Yeah. But majority of that, because of the competition, because of this young ones that are self-proclaimed, I'm hoping that they will grow and develop. You know, it doesn't end there. These are what makes it corrosive for people like you and I that spent time, effort, blood, and sweat. You know, honing yourself, upskilling to make
absolutely,
sure,
man,
the objective of fitness is to, help people understand what the human body is capable of achieving.
Yep.
At our expense.
Definitely. What and gee, what about yourself? Like challenges building your profile in an industry that, like I touched on this on another post of mine last week, which I think a lot of people messaged me and DM'd me about. This is when I was using steroids and whatnot in my past, and I put up a picture of my face then and a picture of my face now.
Oh, the 10-year challenge thing, was it?
No, well, I thought I did it. I substance abused in an industry because I thought the industry wanted me to look like a certain.
Yeah.
That's brave, brother.
So
That's
then
brave.
I put that up saying that now at the age of 35, I look back and go, fuck, I had to go down that path because I wouldn't have the knowledge that I do now. So do I regret that part of my life? No, because it taught me a lot about who I am today. But it also taught me that I got sucked into an industry where you're meant to look a certain way, or you're meant to act a certain way, and you're the fitness professional, so that's what you're meant to be doing. So growing my profile, I thought that I needed to be at that point in my life, which I didn't.
Yeah.
I look back now, and like you said, I've got long-term clients that have stuck with me, and grateful for that. But they stuck with me because of my personality and the traits that I bring.
What was about you went to this thing at this time when you think about your profile and you had to try and keep profile? What was the purpose of the profile for you?
Profile for me was
Was exposure to clients?
Yeah, because I've worked for myself. I've never worked for anybody else but myself as I landed. So 14 years of doing that. That's a long, and then
right.
observing everyone around you, going, why is that guy over there got so much more work than I do, and I feel like I'm a better trainer? What's going on? Is it because of the way he looks? So
you started questioning yourself.
Well, you try to imitate. Should I imitate that, or should I do this, or should I? So you start being this chameleon and blending into, or making yourself be what you shouldn't to get more clients, or to get more money, or to whatever it is, get people to like you. That's the first thing, right? And it was the biggest mistake that I've ever made, because it threw me off a life track that, and sent me mental. Like you said, I went through everything because of it. But do I regret it? No, because I can talk about it like this now.
Yeah, come out from that side.
People listening to this can go, I can either relate with that, and again, cliche things like you hear, just be yourself. Yeah. It's the biggest thing, man. That is the biggest thing to take out of it. Be yourself, because if the people don't like you when you're at yourself, they're not going to like you if you morph into somebody else.
Yeah. So. I see that's been the biggest challenge. Most 95% of people have the biggest challenge to be themselves and define their own self. When it's if you ask me, it's actually really simple and very obvious to see that when you are yourself, you do your thing well, you stand out. Absolutely. Like people see you, right? But then people are told, like you said, like we've been through it. I've been through it as well. Like try to find my space, and there's actually some really cool things I've learned along the way, which is more about the line of, I think this is the biggest lesson, guys, by the way. You look at the audience and provide if you're thinking about business, being successful and having a long profile, what does the audience want? Not from a fact of I need to change. But for example, if you're a PT and you want to focus on Olympic lifting, for example, what are those people that want Olympic lifting exactly want?
Yeah, so adaptation.
Adapt to that audience. Yeah, adapt your skills to that audience. Don't necessarily change 100%. Your persona or personality characteristics. Just change your delivery of the service. That's what you've got to focus on. You don't have to change anything else about you. You look at 7 or 9 billion, whatever, how many billion people on the earth at the moment. People just get this. What stuffs up a lot of businesses is the fear or the. I think everything is so scarce, and there isn't that abundance. But I'm not trying to sound all airy fairy or anything like that. But there is so many people out there that you can make a very good business off with a personal trainer. Like a personal trainer only needs to have 10 clients, if that, to have a good living here in Dubai. Mate. So there's not even a high number. Absolutely. If you can't find freaking 10 people in a country that's got 2 million people, then you've got and you're struggling. You've got to look at the mirror and look at yourself and go, like, fuck, actually, I don't need to change to be out someone else. I just need to do what I do well.
Yeah, and like you said, like if we're giving advice to the outside audience in terms of or young trainers who are watching this,
Even old pro.
yeah,
I think the pro are the worst.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you have to adapt to your market. You can't be that old trainer, be stubborn because you're going to fade out of that market. You will be pushed out of the market.
True.
But number two, the young trainers coming up, like Grant said, is that, you know, be yourself, do what you do, but I would say keep it simple. Simple is always better in an industry. Look, a squat is a squat, whether I teach it, G teaches
It's
it,
the
or
same
Grant teaches it. You know what I mean?
product.
It's a squat. Like, that's it. So
Ask the grass people.
Yeah.
keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate this fitness thing and this is where I feel in 2020 it's been so overcomplicated now, especially with nutrition and this, that, the other. You don't know if you're a consumer trying to get into it. You don't know what to believe. Is it keto? Is it low carb?
And it's just going to confuse the consumers
Absolutely.
even more.
Absolutely.
You know?
So do your own research. And going back to my point with the public, the members who are, want to get into this for the health benefits and get a trainer, do your research first. I believe that if whoever you're looking at or whatever company you're looking at, if they're putting it out on their social media like an artist would, they back their work, you know. But if
That's themselves.
Yeah. If it's generic ads and, you know, where's their work to prove the price that you're trying to, or they're wanting you to pay, you know what I mean? So, you know, that's a good one there. Right, so the next one, this is a big one for me. I always go through this in my head, you know, several times a week. It sort of pisses me off, but then I get over it quite quick, is that why do you think the support of your inner circle, that you call your inner circle, isn't there for small businesses? Like, we all have our own setups, right? Our own business.
Yeah.
I have this issue in my head. It shouldn't be. I'm learning to deal with it by not, you know, focus on it. But sometimes you're like, if my group of friends, they all train, but how come they don't all train with me? But whenever if I run something for free, guess who's there?
They are.
Do you know what I mean? I'm sure we've all had that in the past.
Yeah.
So, am I the only one on this table that bugs? Or because I'm a supporter of like supporting people with startups, supporting people with new ideas.
Sorry. You want to
Go on. So you saying that is that because out of a business perspective, we expect people to support us in that way? I have that expectation. For me, on the other hand, my frustration comes from my family. Like we've said earlier in the discussion, the reason why we're here is because, plain and simple, we love what we do and we're the byproduct of what we're doing. That's why we look a certain way, we act a certain way, behave a certain way. And then you try to influence people around you, your inner circle, the one that you love. Yeah. And they're the ones that's not, they ignore that. They don't put value into that. Yeah. So me associating that with you, that I get frustrated with my friendship, but I'm more frustrated with my family that doesn't want to follow that healthy path. A lot of people pay me good money to educate them and influence them. I'm giving it to you for free.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not valued.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing, right? So and for me, I go, you're right, like, because family can do the same thing, and it's for free for them, right? So you go, well, even if I get better, or you're gonna, you know, gas me up to be better, so my business thrives, I thrive as a person, you're only going to reap the benefits from that person becoming better, right?
Absolutely.
So it goes back to my point. I keep saying this. I never shit on Dubai because I love Dubai. It's been my home for 14 years. Do I question the expat community out here in terms of support and to support other expats? Absolutely. I don't think it happens enough. I don't think... I have this weird undertow feeling that people like to see people fail in this city for some reason. You open up a business or you tell me, you're opening a business and I'll walk away and I'm like, that guy ain't going to do that. Why do you think we have that, especially in the fitness industry? Why do you think there's not more people collaborating, or like why do you think that is?
Right, yeah. If I'm straight up, it's for me, it's as simple as this: people's assumptions, people's expectations are wrong, and I'm talking about ourselves, and I'm talking about our own. We talk about friends, we talk about family. They don't want to do certain things, but they're not us. Yeah, and we have this expectation like you want the best of them.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
At the end of the day, like. Yes, I was okay. Let's put the shoe on the other foot. I go support my family. I go support my friends. But is it something I want to necessarily do? Yeah, maybe not. There's no yes or no, right? It's going to be one way or the other. And you will have friends who will have it. Yeah. What I think people get into the space that you're saying you got into, or you have this gripe about why friends won't support more or anything. Especially lesson I probably learned when I was about 23, 24, about to go to Auckland, and from Rotorua, I was like doing my PT stuff like that there, and I was like going to Auckland, and then I was like, I'm going to shift up there, I'm looking for support, family and friends to get involved, be the first ones in there. When I look back at it now in hindsight, when I think about that, because I went through the same thing, thought, fuck, these guys don't want to put money towards the help they would do. They'll do it for free, right? Yeah. And they won't really tell their friends, because when I look at it, actually, what I did was I pulled the wrong audience for what I'm trying to achieve in the first place. I was looking in the wrong places. I was trying to suit people that didn't want to do what I wanted to do in the first place. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I think that's a hugely common problem that people get. There's other ways that family can support you in it, right? And you got to think. I think the individual needs to turn around and go, look, actually, I'm going to get support from them because they do this well, or they can support them there. And look, if they want to, and they, from a family perspective or a friend perspective, help out with accounting or books or advertising, walk around with some flyers or something like that, or a post on your site, then that's a bonus. It should be looked at as a bonus, not as an expectation or assumption that's going to happen. Because at the end of the day, realistically, we're in an industry that says we're going to help you be fitter or healthier. Let's take beatbox, for example. You're about to start this in March. There's a particular audience that wants to come to beatbox. Yeah. Not people you'd want to come to beatbox, but there's an actual audience that wants to come to it, right? And what we do is we go like, but I was going to record, I want you to support. Yeah, but the ones that you maybe think they don't want to. Like, there's even a difference between someone who wants to box one-on-one, to someone who wants to do boxing fitness, who wants to compete in boxing. Yeah, absolutely. There's all these massive differences, right? Yeah. And within those fields itself, there's also a group of people or an environment or an atmosphere of how they want that delivered to them. So it's not just about getting someone who wants to do boxing. Yeah. It's about saying, okay, these type of boxing, they want to do it for fitness. I'm not sure about, but they're the beatbox. But there's an audience, they want to do fitness for boxing, for example. And then within that audience, there's the way they want to deliver to them. Now, what people miss out on with any business and individual or as a company is they try and format for everyone and not look at that actually with the audience. They want to attend you, so because then it helps you to do better, and it helps you mentally too, like how to deal with it, because your focus is on the wrong spot.
Look, I think for myself, I learned a couple of years ago that I do train a demographic of certain type of people here in Dubai. Before that, I was like doing exactly what you were saying, trying to cater for everyone. It wasn't the thing. So now I know, in this quarter of my life, I know my target audience, that's who comes to me, that's who trains with me. But in my mindset, I'd still love all the crew that,
I'm the same. Yeah.
Where's the question? Would you? How long would you go do something you don't really committed to, or you don't really like?
I get your point. I get your point 100%. But it's the same. It's the thing that still gets under my skin is that when you open the doors for free, these people turn up.
Yeah. Okay. But
So what is the culture there? What culture do we have as a community to go? Okay, well when I
can tell you that.
Go on. Yeah.
There's if you go into a shop, this is going to a shop, and there's something in there that's been discounted 50%, or they give away for free. A pair of shoes, for example, that you saw there was like 400 dirhams, whatever, and you're like, I don't know if I'd buy that. In fact, I'm not going to buy that. Yeah. Come back a week later, it's 200 dirhams, half price, and you go like, well, you start to compensate. You go like, well, actually, it doesn't look as best as I wanted to, but the value I see it as, cheap deal. I'll take it. Yeah. Right. So now, you've given people and friends and family that are one of, they come in, they go like, it's free, cool. Well, it wasn't something they normally do, because it's probably not something they normally do, but now that it's free, okay, look, and then they're going to here to help with maybe numbers.
Yeah.
And that's the mentality of humans to go and to go into that. And that's why, in my opinion, that's why that happens all the time, like free. And that's why people market their businesses wrong, because they go, oh, here's free sessions. But then people don't see the value in it. I don't believe in Groupon, all these kind of discounted things like that. I believe if you're going to offer something for free, then at least give it free to the people that would pay the price in the first place.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
I think that's the marketing perspective side of things, but I think exactly. It's human character. It's nature. I think for where I'm from anyway, in the Philippines, it's like sometimes when things or someone gets too familiar, you kind of take it for granted. You know what I mean? Yeah. For me, I think that's what I'm trying to make peace with myself. That okay, I cannot influence you, or you're not going to support me, and I'm on the same boat with you are, because we've got that high expectation.
Look at your clients. Your clients that have stayed with you for a long period of time.
Exactly.
They see the value.
That's
whether
the
it's
demographic.
free or freaking $1 million, they're still going to pay the thing.
Do you sometimes in an industry like this, do you feel like people take advantage of you as well?
Of course.
In an industry like this?
Oh, many times.
I think it's all
many times.
I think it's people. I think it's human nature to take advantage sometimes of people. So it's...
Or they don't know they're doing it, and we allow it.
We take it... in this industry, we take it a lot more personal than other places, because you end up with connections with people that are relationships. It's not you going to the doctor and they become your best friend. You go to the doctor because you want a service off them, that's it.
I'll give you a scenario. I'll mention names, but,
I think you should.
Blank. You're blank.
Yeah.
And if you're watching this,
I think you should.
Little things like this, right? So there's a scenario where, look, Nax, the money's tight this month. Can I possibly pay the fees next month? I'm like, yeah, sweet. I'd rather keep them on the books than say no. They become family when they're in the community. You help people out. I'm helping you with the training. I'm happy to help you. With that as well. That's
how do you deal with that? Because earlier you've just touched on we do have bills. We do have bills to pay as well, right? 100%. If this employee, the one that you're training, okay, what if your boss comes to you? Hey, look, we can't pay you this month, so see you later. I can't drive. I can't drive to work.
I think we guys. I'm sorry, but we get
but you're considerate
time.
because they're family. You're I care about you.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like your responsibility for you to stay on board, because I'm looking after your health. But you got to look after your pockets too.
100%.
So okay, this is a common problem I've noticed over the last probably, more so here in the UAE, that when talking to people like that there is this, you create a relationship, and it's like, I look at it like this. You end up in a relationship, and there's a period maybe in that relationship you're like going, oh, this isn't going to work out. I know it's not going to work out, right? But you stay in the relationship for longer, right? And you end up, and the longer you stay in that relationship for, you tolerate it for, right? What people don't do when they set up their businesses is they get to a point where they are doing things they don't actually want to be doing, or they know there's they've compromised. They're saying, look, I've got great relationships that are really like the regular basis. There's going to be money coming in, and then yes, you get to this point with this person. They go like, oh, actually, it's a bit tight this month. If it happens once, twice, okay, it's understandable. But people, and especially as trainers or coaches, what they find hard to do is separate business from personal. They don't do that, and people go like they make decisions for their business based on personal thoughts.
But here's the other side of it too, right? So when you rely on, this is the problem with this model, right? These PT models, and you're starting to see it now more with the more successful PTs coming out saying that you're charging for your time. You shouldn't be, your model is all wrong when you're relying on your X amount that you're paying me. If that goes walking, then I'm fucked. I understand that. So that's why I changed my model about 2 years ago. But at the same time, money's a bit tight, Nax. Can I pay you next month? And then that same person goes on a fucking holiday that month. I'm like, hang on.
You go.
So are you taking advantage of my kindness to give you the leeway?
No. My opinion, no. My opinion is that the person who's in there has not properly set up their business to allow, like you go to a shop, for example, and you've got different options of things. So here's your high end product.
Yeah.
Then here's a low end product and a low end product. So what we don't do as trainers, and what's not seen, is that, for example, if you're going to go away or you can't pay this month, okay, it's one thing, right? And if they're struggling to pay on a regular basis, then they can't afford the service that you're offering. So you need a larger portfolio that's going to offer them a different service that they can afford.
Absolutely, 100%. And I get that point. And like, to my credit now, in last 2 or 3 years, we've done that. So we've got the cheaper options of training. You can train with Streetwise basically for fuck all. Like, and that's fine. I wanted to make it like that. So not everybody can afford a premium fee. And I don't expect that. I ain't no premium, like, I'm not Emirates. Do you know what I mean? So we can, everybody, I believe, has the right to train under guidance and the right way. Mate, I'm not a doctor. I'm a fucking trainer. Like, so, but at the same time, to what you're saying, where does it become a thing where I go, listen, okay, I saw you go on that holiday and you couldn't pay me on time. If I say that, do I lose that client?
My opinion, yes.
I've lost clients.
I think
honest,
it's the viewpoint's wrong. Is a loss of, say, here's my options. Like, what people do is they end up in relationships with these people, and they don't have these contracts or they have these agreements in place, and they're not set up. Like, a lot of people don't run they don't run a business. But it is a business, and that's what it needs to be. Like, people are going, oh yeah, but, and people make excuses, especially at the start, because they want to make money, right? But they don't set up themselves up properly. So what happens is they get in these situations, exactly what we're talking about, and then they go like, now what I do was, unfortunately, right now you can't do that. So what you're saying is that we should have done at the start was keep business business. This is what's required. This is the options you can go down. Great, and keep it like business sided. Like, if you want a stronger business, if you want to be,
and that's something I had to learn through the last 30
Everyone
years.
goes through it though.
Because
That's the problem.
I hear it now. I hear these young trainers come up to me and go, "Oh, Nax, like, what do I do? This client has come up to me and said, "Oh, 250 is too much an hour. Should I go down to 200?" I'm like, "No, bro. I understand the desperation for you to keep that money.
Recommend them to someone else. If you ask me,
I can say that because of the density of my client list. So, but I do get this young fella's point. Like, I mean, he might have 4 clients, and this is one of them. Now, I said,
people have this whole scarce of short-term loss.
I get you two guys in there, but we were once there and that.
Absolutely.
Let's say decade or 15 years ago. I've learned it. It comes down. I'm not trying to sound like arrogant, but I've come to a point like I've really set boundaries from day one, and you stick with it. Yes, I have fear of losing clients. Who doesn't? That's your business. That's money walking away.
Okay.
But then again, it goes down to
But why do you have fear?
No, I don't anymore. I do have. You said it yourself. I got clients that have been training since I got here, and they're still there. I've established that self-worth. This is what I can offer. Either you take it, you live it. If you don't trust yourself, and then you're gonna build up that mindset, it's probably not worth it. That's why I am negotiating for that price.
So this is the perfect example. So this young fella said this to me, and what I said to him back, I said, "Do you back yourself?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Do you back yourself as a trainer?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Are you sure? Because you're about to over 50 dirham, like fold." I said, "If you hold tight, I promise you that guy will stay." Everyone wants a bargain,
but if he doesn't,
then.
Too bad. That's hard thing. People are like, "Oh, but I want to lose him." And what? Someone else will come in.
I get it because I've been there myself when I was a younger trainer. Like, you've got the rent breathing down your neck. You've got your car payment.
Girlfriend wants to go to dinner.
You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. I do. It's a the reason for today's topic, guys, like, this is why we're talking about this shit, is this is the stuff you don't know trainers go through. This is what we're talking about.
Fucking struggle too,
like, it's the struggle of 50 dirham. Do I keep it? Do I not keep it? Do I keep it? And, like, this can get, it's a mindset that can ruin trainers out here.
And we're still here, and your caliber, obviously, you've developed a name for yourself, and you're a brand now. So you're in that position that, hang on a minute, do I say no or yes without consulting anyone but yourself? It's you against you. Like what you said earlier, like, I'm going to quote Socrates in this one, it's not the strongest that survive amongst the species. It's the adaptability.
Absolutely.
You've adapted, hence you're expanding your knowledge and skills to what else can I offer? Do I back up that 500 dirham a session? You know what I mean? Do I live that? Do I breathe that?
It-
So I have that confidence that, I'm going to keep you as long as I can, because it doesn't end on me just making you sweat and making you look good as a byproduct.
Oh,
of
it's
our
like
service.
for your clients. I know some of your clients, and they're around the same sort of bracket as my members. It's a life. I always say this: it's a lifestyle thing. You either make this a part of your life or you close the door. Like, I'm not going to train somebody. I don't expect to train you forever. I don't want that. I would love you to come in as a premium member and go down to our lowest membership. But that's what I want. I want you to absorb the knowledge I'm giving you. And then you refer someone that was like you, and the journey continues.
You know what a lot of people set up wrong when they're doing it? So they're going, I want a PT, example being, I want a PT, but I'm a PT for life. And that's a stupid mentality to take into it, because you're not going to do this for life. And the other side of it is that not only are you not going to do it for life, but you also, your clients are not going to train with you for life. And that's the problem. But people going like, oh, I've got a client now, that's it. Nah. At the end of the day, there's going to be an exit where it's going to be 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 6 years, or whatever it is, and people aren't planning for that. People aren't setting their business up correctly for that, and that's the huge problem about it.
We see it every day. Like, we see these PTs come in, or companies come in and set up, and then within 6 months they're gone, because they did not put in the fact that the expat market, like I touched on, is who we depend on to keep our businesses running. Most of us, anyway. And then, once that expat market starts to fade, what happens to your business if you're not keeping up and adapting? So,
well, there's another thing to that.
And everybody gets too overexcited and overpromising. What's with that? That what pisses me off.
Well, they get caught out from being, if it, it is the expat community. Dubai is, we don't live in our home countries.
Exactly.
No, we live in a country that we have to get a visa every single freaking year. Every 3 years, you have to get a new visa, residency, right? And that's how transitional the UN is. And so even more so over here, expect people to leave. Then set your business up so that when people are going to go, know that they're going to go, and you have this whole different mindset of going like, oh, you can't afford it, or you're changing, you're having a kid, you're changing jobs, whatever the heck's going on, because that's happened so much more over here, and that's what people over here get lost in. They go fear and they end up in these positions. They're only in these positions where they're going, oh, my rent's due and stuff like that, because they haven't set themselves up in the freaking first place. So, it's a stupid tragedy that goes round and round and round.
What time are we running?
5 minutes, bro. I got 55 minutes.
So we've touched on the core subjects I wanted to touch on. The last one I had down was future-wise for the two of you in an industry. What do you see yourself? Well, I know, because I've spoke about it with the boys today coming in here. The future is bright, like these lights. But
Professional, bro.
Hurts my eyes. So bright.
What do you see, like you just touched on it? Do you want to be that 45-year-old trainer on a gym floor with 20-year-olds? I fucking don't. But
What about 43?
Why not? I'm 43 this year.
you're only old as your mindset, right?
Yeah.
So,
Exactly
but
the point.
what do you see yourself going forward in the next couple of years, where in an industry that is about to do the whole shake, rattle, and roll?
Like I've said earlier, I think it's geared up to recalibrating, and people are getting more and more aware. Without sounding over dramatic, I still do genuinely see myself coaching people, but not on a physical level.
Yep.
Yeah, it's. I think for me, the very most important lesson that I've learned, not just being a fitness professional, but in life per se, is self-awareness. That's probably one of the most important thing that kept me in the market. It's being genuine and honest to people.
Yep.
It's like the more honest you are, the more filtered your life is, and it's easier.
We've all
so
had to.
If you got that right intention, I think my direct answer to that is I'm still gonna be here.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what.
But you've had to learn to be like that, right? And
yes, of course, the hard way, the longest way. Like what I've said, the way I want to influence people now in the industries is above and beyond the mechanical and physical achievement of the human body. You know, it's now we have these tools and avenues that we can deliver message out there.
Absolutely.
At our own expense and our own empowerment. So I strongly believe in that. And if we all hand in hand have this initiative, I think we can help a lot more people.
Absolutely. To just touch on it, because he's hot as shit right now, but someone who I guess is living the life that you basically said right now to the fullest, what it looks like anyway on social media, is this James Smith from the UK. I don't know if you guys follow him.
Fuck yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's fucking, don't even know who he is, but
Do you know me?
worth a follow. Definitely worth a follow.
Yeah,
because he's made it so simple. He made something that shouldn't be so complex, simple, and is very honest and open about the industry. Like, if you're in fitness, you're in fitness. It's not like you're a paid competitor or something like that.
Yeah.
You're keeping yourself healthy, for fuck's sake. So, when did it become a thing? Do you know what I mean? To like, cool. You live to see another day because you're keeping yourself healthy.
It's,
you know, put an Instagram post up about it. Like,
That's what we hate.
it's longevity. Yeah, it's supposed to be longevity.
so, G, what about yourself, bro? Like,
Oh, bro, I do what I do in a day. It's, you know, I have no regrets about what I've done, but for me personally, I don't personal training anymore. I don't even do group fitness anymore. Not that I fell out of love with personal training.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Yep.
But my mindset's always been to grow and develop, and not necessarily about money, but it's been about developing just like, I know it sounds like a bit of a theory, to be honest, but it's just, I love to learn and I love to grow and I love to develop and I love to, that's how I want my life to be, whether I'm making money or not, right? So what I've gone into now, and we're doing with Nigel, and that's why we're doing this whole One Tribe with a weekly thing, because my thing is just to connect with every day. I mean, I'm just talking now, we've been here for an hour. I could do this all fucking day.
Man.
Just all day, every day, things like that. So my thing's just really supporting industry, having conversations like this, giving out tips to people just from myself. But I want to push down the lines of, I've gone through literally a whole career, you name it, in fitness, I've done it. And now to go into the place and to create a space that hopefully we can have guys like yourself and doing these kind of things to support each other, the industry, and grow the community.
I think being here and visiting the studios, as much as they've got bigger plans in the next 6 months with this thing, it is exactly, if I knew something like this space was available and was here when I started the One Tribe podcast, and it's only new anyway, so I'm going to be up here a lot more. This is the kind of stuff, as fitness professionals who want to help people in a community who wants to be helped, this is the kind of stuff we need to do. This is 2020. We need to talk about this stuff. We need to get it out there. Fitness is a journey for everyone. It's different for everyone. You know, the whole mental health thing is so big in this industry. It's a part. It's one of the main parts and reasons that we all either fail or succeed. So, you know, get on board, guys. Find fit people. Their social channels: YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. at Find Fit People. Search them up. Look at the YouTube. Subscribe on all of their social platforms. Streetwise UAE, Coach Naka, One Tribe, all on iTunes, SoundCloud, and all the good platforms that you can find that on. We're doing a collaborative joint venture here, guys. So you'll see my head up here once a week, I think now, and along with the boys. And thanks for the boys for coming on. So that was good. Good hour.
Thanks, brother.
Peace. Thanks, boys.
Dude, man. Thank you.
Good job.
We've all been there, hours searching the internet, asking friend upon friend, making call after call, trying to find the right fitness professional, health specialist, or sports coach. So much time, energy, and even money spent only to find more problems than solutions. Well, now, with the Find Fit People platform, you can find all the available professionals with the skills you need in an instant. We've removed all the barriers by establishing a community of many different skilled health specialists, sports coaches, and fitness professionals that are alerted immediately once you posted your request. In under 30 seconds, you can attract multiple professionals with the right skills to help you achieve the result you want. It's simple, fast, and free. Find us online at www.findfitpeople.com or download the Find Fit People app from Apple or Google Play stores so you can find fit people today.